timeout. Decide not to use it. Curry, way downtown. Bang! Bang! Oh, what a shot from Curry!
He's in! Patriots win the Super Bowl! Brady has his fifth! 13! 13! Can you believe it?
Hey guys, welcome back to the Locker Room Podcast. I'm your host, Oliver, as always, joined by our mystery man, Sharpy.
Hello.
Now, it's our 50th episode, Sharpy, so halfway to a century. Who would have thought we would actually get this far?
Yeah, not me. I'll probably go on finish on 96 or something.
Oh, 96 is the face reveal, isn't it?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
So we've got a bit of a way to go there. As you probably might be able to tell, I got a webcam, so my picture might be a little bit better, but it's still got my face on it. So
Yeah, that's a shame.
yeah, I knew someone. I shouldn't have. I'll walk myself into it. But let's get on to the NBA Summer League. Somewhat exciting, I guess. Somewhat not. I feel like last year was a lot more. There was a lot more prospects to watch, even though there's still good prospects to watch this year. But first, what are your overall thoughts on the Summer League so far? Before we dive into it.
I reckon it's been good. I reckon it's been really competitive. There's been a lot of great undrafted players and a lot of people coming through that no one really knew about, and that's good.
There has been injuries, but we'll get to that. I just want your thought. Now, we're just going to go off the first three players drafted, so just Jabari, Chet, and Paolo. Which one of them has impressed you the most? Now, I don't feel like either of them have disappointed. They've had a not so great game, but I don't think any of them are disappointed. But who's impressed you the most out of them three?
Well, obviously Chet. I think his defensive capabilities has been the standpoint for him and for OKC and how they've been playing.
I liked seeing him dribble and handle the ball a lot more. Like from what I've seen from him at Gonzaga, he wasn't really allowed that a great deal to just handle the ball as much as he has been in Summer League now, albeit it is Summer League. But like even something like the step back three and the Dirk one leg fade. I do, although Paolo has looked unreal. He's the most NBA ready rookie out of the draft. Well, yeah, at least out of those three, and probably the draft. And what did you think of Jabari though? Because his game against Chet, he shot, I think it was 5 of 19. He does look like he's got a really smooth stroke. Is it just a thing that it wasn't falling that game, and his defense and stuff is going to be good enough until he figures out, or until he starts hitting those shots, or do you think it's a bit of a worry?
I reckon it was just a bad shooting night. Everyone's had them in the NBA. Just wasn't his night. Like people say, shoot. He kept shooting, which is good. He didn't drop his head, and he still had confidence to keep shooting. So that's good.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like he wanted to go out there and prove something against Chet, and you can't obviously blame him. And like you said, if he stopped at say 4 for 10 and started passing up open shots, you'd be a bit more concerned. But the fact that he was actually just shooting, whether it be over Chet or even the open ones and they're missing. Now, most impressed player overall from the Summer League. I know who I've got in mind, and I dare say we might say the same person. So excluding those three, who's impressed you the most?
It's going to be a bit biased here because I've only watched a handful of games. Mac McClung.
Okay, we don't have the same person, but you give us. Yeah, I do like Mac McClung. By the way, I don't know why the Lakers like. I'm just a bit confused by that, and I don't know the whole situation around it. But give us your reason behind Mac.
I don't reckon it was all a big thing or anything, but I just love the way he's been playing so far. He's looking nice coming off a pick and roll. He's going to be, if he stays at the Warriors this year, that's going to be a nice point guard to have off the bench as a facilitator to have with that second unit.
Him next to Poole would be good because Poole can create, but he's usually better at getting his own shot rather than getting others involved. But I Maybe they'll involve him in a trade package for KD. We'll get onto that later. I've gone with Keegan Murray just because everyone, including myself, all thought that the Kings screwed up by not taking Ivy. Yet Keegan he's consistently played well. I'm still a bit confused about why he played 35 minutes today against the Thunder. Yes, he had 29 points, but why are you playing him 35 minutes? And you've played him every summer league game. So that's a bit of a Kings move, I feel. But have you liked his game? Have you watched much of the Kings?
No, not much. But I mean, they're not going to not play
Yeah.
like their best player from the draft. You know, you might as well. He's going to be getting a lot of minutes throughout the year. You might as well get him used to it now.
Yeah. I feel like giving him 20, 25 and then maybe have a 30-minute game, but then like you see Orlando sadly already not benching, but taking out Paolo just before the Paolo Chet matchup, which was really annoying. But I feel like I feel like his summer league should be done now. I don't think they're going to win the summer league comp and get their ring, which is funny in itself. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Injuries. There's a lot of injuries. Which one are you most worried about? Because there's a few that I've got. There's Shaden Sharp. I think he's only got his injury was only 10 to 14 days. Dyson Daniels did his ankle, which I'll let you talk about. EJ Liddell did his ACL for the Pelicans, who was his second round. I think it's the Pelicans.
And I did not know that one. Gee, that's sad.
Came out today. And then,
that's
it might have
sad.
been yesterday. And then he tweeted about it and he's like, his work's not done or whatever. And then Trey Mann got injured today, but I don't even know what's happened to him yet. So I haven't seen anything about that. But I'll let you talk a bit about whether you're worried about Shaden Sharp or Dyson Daniels' injury.
Oh, I'm just more upset about EJ Liddell now.
Now that you found out. I think it's EJ Liddell. I think he had a good first game as well, didn't he?
Wow.
And then he's just...
I just remember him from college. I haven't seen him play in the summer league, but I just remember him from college. He was nice there. And then with Shaden Sharps, I didn't see his injury either. But I know Dyson Daniels did his ankle like every other Aussie's done in summer league. Ben Simmons, Giddy, and now Dyson Daniels.
And
if I'm Tyrese Proctor, I'm going into next year's summer league with bubble wrap around.
And Joe Ingles when he returns to summer league next year to get a ring.
Yeah.
So it was EJ Liddell, and it's his right knee. And then he tweeted out God's not finished. So and you'd say that's the season for him unless the Pelicans. Yeah, no, that is the season for him. Which is pretty shit.
Prayers up.
We also before I move on, Luke Travers. He's doing all right for the Cavs. He's been starting in the team. He didn't have the best game. I think it was today, but the other games he's been playing well. I've watched a bit of him, but I haven't watched whole games of him. So another Aussie doing somewhat well, and hopefully he can actually get on the roster because that Cavs.
There's been a few Aussies in there. There was one, I think Jack White, I think is his name, playing for the Nuggets.
I don't even know. Sure.
He was doing it. There is a few, like there's heaps more Aussies in there. I can't remember all of them, but I know there's I know there's another one in there.
Because I barely watched those teams that just have terrible rookies or don't have many rookies like Lakers, and I'm not watching Shaq or whatever his sons play and Pippen.
Well, Scottie Pippen Jr. is actually looking nice. I was watching the game against Phoenix the other day, and he looks really good. I think because he's going to be a two-way. He's trying to get on the team.
He'll probably get on there, to be honest.
I can see him being on there because he reminds me a bit of what's his name? Oh, he just signed with the Nuggets today.
Contavious Caldwell-Pope.
Yeah, he reminds me a bit of KCP with his defending and his hustle. So,
KCP is probably a bit better of a shooter, although KCP wasn't a great shooter. we'll move on to quickly one or two bold takes that you have coming out of the summer league. So last time we said that Mobley's not going to be near rookie of the year, and we're right because he didn't win rookie of the year. So we're technically right. But have you got any? You got a bold take maybe?
On what's that? Sorry.
Just a bold take, whether it's a certain rookie to make.
We're really going to do this again?
Yeah, where like make a huge jump that we don't expect, or someone to make an all rookie team, or what have you got? I'm interested to hear.
I'd probably say I don't expect Jabari Smith to make All NBA first team at this point in time. But
where would you
so
put
that
him?
means he's going to win Rookie of the Year. Everyone watching, put as much money as you want on him to win Rookie of the Year.
So where would you put that though? Like, is the all rookie team as well? Like, you wouldn't be able to have Paolo, Chet, and Jabari because they're all power forwards and centers.
Aren't they going positionless this year?
I don't know if they've changed it or not yet, but I don't mind that one. I don't mind that one. I've gone very bold with one, and I've been claiming it since. But I did have Chet as a bold take to win Defensive Player of the Year. That's a very bold take, but maybe I'll calm that one down a bit, and I'll just say Chet to be in one of the all defensive teams, which is still a very bold take. And two, I've gone for two homers here. Jalen Williams, J-Dub, to be in an all rookie team if he gets enough minutes.
He's looking nice as well. That's a good pickup from OKC there.
I might just be saying that because I've watched a couple of games and he's looked really good in summer league, and I could be getting caught up in it, but he does look very nice.
Do you see him potentially starting over Dort, or do you reckon because of Dort's contract, there's that type of player who should be starting?
I honestly reckon that I wouldn't be surprised if there's situations where he takes JRE's spot, depending on who's at center for Chet to guard, because otherwise it's going to be JRE and Chet starting, I feel like. But because he played the 4 in a couple of summer league games, which he said he's never done. So
it said on the first game in the Salt Lake City Classic that he was at the 3, JRE.
Yeah, JRE.
Yeah, it said Poku was at center in the game against Utah. That's what it said on the NBA app. It
JRE can defend 1 through 5. So
yeah, exactly. Don't be sleeping on JRE.
So there are bold takes. We'll come back to them at the end of the year and see if Jabari's MVP, rookie of the year, not MVP, just to see how wrong we were. But are we saying any of the top ones are definitely not getting rookie of the year? I'm going to say Jabari's definitely not.
The closest I could possibly see is Chet.
I'm going to say Jabari's definitely not getting it because I can see Keegan, and I can see, I don't know about Ivy yet, and I can see Paolo definitely. Chet, yeah, he's a maybe, but I feel like
I'll probably put Chet as a maybe.
So you go with Chet, I'll go with Jabari for that. All right, now off summer league topic. KD and Kyrie quickly. I don't really think there's much to talk about with Kyrie. I think it's more KD. Now, I've had this stance for about a week now. I honestly don't think KD wants to get traded. I saw people say that it was probably a heat of the moment thing, seeing Golden State, his old team, win the championship and he wanted to get out of there. But I honestly think that it was now I could be completely wrong, that it was a move just to freeze the market, because like they have frozen the market right now because everyone wants him, but to freeze the market to stall other deals going through. What do you think of the whole situation? At least that's my stance on it, and I could be completely wrong. But
well, at first I thought it was hilarious coming from Knicks fans' perspective. I was thinking, yep, this is what you get. All those Nets fans making fun of us, everyone making fun of us that the Knicks didn't get Kyrie and KD. But yeah, like I think I agree with you with the frozen market. Like ever since that really happened, it's kind of downplayed like every deal that's happened so far. Like I don't know, it just hasn't really been that big of a thing because you've still got that up in the air.
And people don't want to pull. Like you think about it, does that DeJounte Murray trade go through with the Hawks if KD says it 2 days earlier. Like it, I don't know. It's
Yeah.
a bit of a different situation, and like one that I feel like it's going to happen soon. The whole Ayton deal. Ayton would have had to have been a main package to get KD to the Suns if that was to ever happen. But now it's very heavily linked that Ayton's going to go to the Pacers, and they're probably going to give up Miles Turner, and I don't know who else they would give up. But
How would you reckon Sabonis and Ayton would work out together?
Sabonis, these are the Kings.
Oh yeah, my bad, wrong person. I mean, Goga Batazdi. That's the
It'd be Tyrese and Ayton would be good together, but how much do the Pacers have to give up? Do you reckon the Pacers have to give up more stuff to get Ayton? Because I feel
they
like
barely gave up anything for Brogdon.
Because like if you're the Suns, you're getting Miles Turner, who's on a better contract that's not going to be asking for the max, and the Pacers are going to have to sign Ayton to a max, you'd think. Do you feel like maybe the Suns have to include a pick, or do you feel like the Pacers would have to include something to get that deal through?
I feel like Phoenix would want something back, which makes sense. Just a bit of a sweetener back,
But
or something.
James Jones, the GM or whatever, he doesn't like the draft. He's come out and said it a few times. He doesn't like the whole going through the draft thing. He took a couple of shots at OKC actually. So,
it's more just
yeah,
with the draft. I mean, you're not building it.
You just need that extra
like,
piece.
At the moment, yeah, you could say they're building through the draft, but it's more about having assets. That's how Hinkie did it as well.
Yeah. Big Hinkie, what a man. And then he just got fired for no reason.
I miss Hinkie.
Everyone misses him. I used to watch those Game of Zones videos.
Oh, yeah.
And they just always used to be about Hinkie getting crucified. Poor bloke. But do you feel like that Ayton trade's going to go through anytime soon, or do you feel like he'll go somewhere else?
No, I don't really see anywhere else that could suit him. So I'd probably, you could probably say, it would be better off if he went to Indiana.
Yeah. And finally for the NBA, Donovan Mitchell, I'll let you take the lead here. Now there's the only team he's really been linked to heavily that I've seen in the past 8 is the Knicks. And there's a lot of rumors swirling around 8 first-round picks. Give us your realistic, say, whether you include the 8 first-round picks or not, your realistic trade that you think will be fair and is most likely going to happen.
Well, the Knicks aren't willing to give up RJ Barrett. I saw that today, and that's good. That just needs to be the main thing, is not to give up RJ Barrett. Keep him, and that's fine. That's who you're building around.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be upset, but I would understand if we had to get rid of Quickly.
Well,
I feel like Quickly's probably the highest rated. He's probably got the most stock in him out of anyone that we can trade.
So
that's above Randall and Fournier.
You said earlier that you don't want to break up Quickly and Toppin. But realistically, if you're getting Donovan Mitchell in return, who would you rather have on the team? Because like, if you have Toppin, that's a good big. If you have Quickly, that's another guard, but you've already got Brunson, Derrick Rose, RJ, who can move up, and Donovan Mitchell. So you're pretty loaded at the guard position. Would you rather keep Obi, or would you rather keep Quickly just because
I'd rather keep Obi. I reckon he showed a lot of promise at the end of last season when Randall wasn't there. When Quickly got to Obi got to have the ball a lot more in his hand. He dropped a 40 piece against Toronto. I think he had a couple of 30-pointers as well. And that was awesome to watch. I think in the one game, Quickly had a triple-double, and then Obi had 40 points.
Yeah.
I think that was that game.
Sorry to interrupt, but keep going with your trade before about.
Oh, yeah. So I'd give up Quickly, Randall, as just
Ooh,
also a salary cap matcher.
I don't know how that's going to happen because the Jazz came out and said, it's been reported the Jazz don't want any big contracts. They want young talent or draft assets. So that's just
Well,
something
then
to
that's
think
fine.
about. But
We've got that as well. We've got Grimes, McBride, who aren't that big of young talent, but they're there to have.
yeah,
Um,
keep going on with your trade though. Sorry.
yeah. Well, if I would Fournier, that's not a big contract. It was a big contract last year, but now that there's 2 years left on that deal and a team option for the last year, I think that could be a good contract to take on if I was Utah.
Yeah.
And then we have this year's first because you can't trade your first 2 years in a row. And so I don't even know if we'll be able to trade our first because we traded our first. No, we drafted ours and then traded it. So we have ours. We have Dallas's first round. We have those first rounders we got off OKC in the draft from like Washington and all that stuff.
Yeah.
We have heaps of second rounders for next year as well. I mean, you could just say as compensation.
Yeah.
But we still got a lot of first round draft picks that we could possibly give them.
Now, finally on this, would you rather have Donovan Mitchell? Let's put this is a huge hypothetical. Would you rather be able to get Donovan Mitchell and also have Randall still on the team, or would you rather ship off Randall because then you got less money on your on the books, and maybe Mitchell Robinson, maybe the ball gets moved around a bit more, or would you rather actually, like I said, have him on the team and be whether he can perform like he did 2 years ago, possibly, but what would you rather?
Well, with Donovan, you're getting that's another ISO player as well. So, and with Randall as well, he has to have the ball in his hands. Like off the ball, Randall's lazy.
Yeah.
Sort of. So I'd rather not have them both in the team at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And if you can get off Randall's contract, because if you have him and Donovan as well, and then Brunson, and then RJ, whether he's been paid yet or not, I can't remember.
No, he hasn't, but he's still he's still got 1 year left on his rookie deal. So.
And then he's going to get paid, and then you got Mitchell Robinson on a good contract, but he's still earning money. So
yeah, the next year I think you've got Obi and Quickly's deal's going to be up as well.
So you're going to have to pay some money, unless obviously Obi and Quickly go in the trade. But
yeah, if that's the way they're going to go, then possibly Obi and Quickly could go.
I reckon by this time next week there'll be that trade will be done. I think Donovan Mitchell will be off the Jazz. If it's to the Knicks, I'm 70% sure it'll be to the Knicks. But
Legion Report came out and said that they're apparently quickly putting together a draft, like a package or something for Donovan Mitchell. Whether that's happened or whether Danny Ainge is just playing
mind games,
Porky Pies or something.
Well, hopefully that trade goes through because I'm not a big Donovan Mitchell fan personally, but to see the Knicks actually get a good all-star, not a superstar yet, but a good all-star, I think will be huge for them. Whether they work out, I still have questions about it, but we'll discuss that when the trade actually goes through and we know who's on the team. That's it for NBA, unless you had anything else to talk about.
No.
Well, it's that time of the week. Slugs. Horsey tips. All right, so his first one is Flemington Race 5, Quang Tree. Oh, number 1. Yeah. Horse number 1, Quang Tree. His second tip is Eagle Farm Race 5, number 3, Honey Pot. And his each way of the day is Morfettville Race 1, number 6, 7th Seal, which is he's got stakes in that horse. So hopefully it can win. But he's also got stakes in another horse racing on Saturday, big Twist of Fury, but it's out at $51 or $41 at Flemington Race 7 if you want to have a look at that. We'll go around the grounds. Start off with Premier League. We're going to do a Premier League preview next week, so we'll go more in depth about this.
Either that or is it that time already?
Yeah, well, it starts on the 9th of August, so I think next week would probably be a good time to.
Gee, that's gone quick.
That'll be 2 weeks before the season starts. Sterling to Chelsea is the new owner's first signing. Also, all these signings are basically Chelsea. They've signed Sterling, Koulibaly, and are rumoured to be getting Kimpembe. I honestly think Chelsea are going to be up there next year, depending on how it's going to be dependent on how Lukaku goes. But what are your thoughts on the signings that they've made already?
I think getting Sterling, that's a good signing, but spending $60 million on someone that's on his final year of his contract.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan.
A bit different considering Mane went for like 20 million less.
Yeah.
So that's
significantly
better.
I liked Sterling at Liverpool, didn't like him at City, but he had a couple good years at City, but I feel like he dropped off a little bit. And even though he played well in international football, I don't see how he fits into that. Like Chelsea have already got good wingers, don't they? Or maybe their right wing is a bit weak because they got Pulisic, they got Mount that goes out on the wing at times, but he usually plays number 10. God, I'm forgetting who their wingers are. But go on.
Yeah,
about Koulibaly and that.
Yeah, Koulibaly's a good deal. 40 million, I think it was rumored to be around. I think. Which makes sense. I reckon. He's going to bring a lot of coverage to the centre back area.
Good replacement for Rudiger.
Yeah, obviously, and then I think they're trying to get Ake as well.
Oh yeah, I did see that actually. Like,
I mean, they've still got Lukaku there to potentially get rid of, maybe to want to cough up the funds finally.
If they can afford. No, that was just a joke about him going back out on loan. Maybe, I don't know. I've got a bit sick, but I think because I got really annoyed when I saw they signed Koulibaly because I remember Liverpool being linked to him. I think it was last year maybe or the year before. We've been linked to him a fair bit, but if they got Kimpembe, that defense is ridiculous. If they got Mendy in goals, who I rate really highly, very highly, and then you got Thiago Silva, Kimpembe, and Koulibaly, and Chilwell at left back, Reece James at right back, that they're gonna get the most clean sheets, you would think. But do you think they're going to be a title chance next season?
They're probably locked in for third at the moment. You could say. I still think Liverpool and Man City are above everyone, with Man City being above Liverpool by heaps. With talent wise, you could say.
Yeah, no, they are.
But I think locked in at third at the moment. But City are interesting as well. They sold, now you can't say that they've money with the financial fair play now because they sold Gabriel Jesus, they've sold Sterling.
So how they got 60 million for Sterling? But go on.
45 million for Jesus wasn't bad either. That's a good piece of business from City to get him off the contract for that price. So,
they used that money 2 years ago though.
Yeah, probably.
They used it before they got it.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas we're still using Coutinho's money.
Yeah, we're still using Arnautovic's money.
And Everton are still using what's his name?
Oh, Lukaku.
Yeah. Still using Lukaku's money.
Yeah.
Quickly, just to touch on De Jong it's confirmed that he's not going to join United. He's going to stay at Barca. Just quickly, were you surprised by that at all?
No, I'm not surprised. That's good. Good for him.
I'm happy he didn't go to United. And one that I read wrong, I initially thought it was Lautaro Martinez going to Man United, and I was annoyed and hella confused, but it's Lissandro Martinez. I'm not too informed about this one. Is he the midfielder? Is he?
He's the centre back from Ajax, I think, or the Dutch league.
Oh yeah, okay. Now I know his FIFA card, so I can remember. I can think of it off the top of my head. Do you reckon he'll get much time? I mean, who is he next? Who's he battling with? Phil Jones and Harry Maguire.
Varane, Harry Maguire.
So. Yeah, Varane. It'll be Varane and Harry Maguire. Varane's not going to have another bad. Well, he had an injury-plagued season. Whether it was bad or not, you can leave that up to the fans to decide. We'll quickly touch on some AFL stuff. Richmond lost after the siren. I don't want to talk about it because I had a function on. We were up by 28, and I'm like, oh, we're home. Go and get KFC with our slug. We walk into the function, and everyone's talking about Noah Anderson, and I just wanted to go home. That was I haven't even watched a full replay of it yet because I don't want to see it. Bulldogs got spanked by the Swans. Do you still think they can make finals?
I don't know. It just makes me sad when I watch them.
Well, we're going to talk about something even more sad after this, but
yeah, I mean, they have to win every game. And I can't remember who we're versing this week.
They got St Kilda. I was about to ask, do you reckon they can?
That's probably a loss.
That's a very good game. That's going to be a very good game. I don't know who to tip. I think I'm absolutely getting spanked in tipping now. I've just gone.
I checked before. I think I'm only up by 6. So
only up by 6. Jesus Christ! I was up by like 3, and then you've just taken over. We'll put up a scoreboard update on next week's. Maybe next week's video when we do our Premier League predictions. And North Melbourne, I think we can all laugh at North Melbourne. Sacking David Noble. Lockie was really happy about it. He really wanted to come on the podcast and talk about it tonight, but he didn't have the time. What you got anything to say about this, Sharpy?
I mean, if he has to be the fall guy for it, Noble, then fair enough.
It's so stiff, and they should have beaten Collingwood on the weekend, to be honest. Maybe not.
Worrying.
Yeah, they were up by a fair bit. They should have won that. But I mean, I guess he hasn't won a game in a very long time. The only game he's won this year was against a depleted West Coast Eagles. But I feel bad for him, and I think they should move to Tasmania. God, that would be funny if they did. Lockie would have to find a new team or move to Tasmania.
The North Hobart Kangaroos.
Exactly right. Who's
pushing the most for a Tasmanian team? Alistair Clarkson.
Yeah.
Who can be the first coach?
Exactly right.
Alistair Clarkson.
The North Hobart Jack Jumpers. That's a new football team. No, but and a good argument for not bringing in a completely new team is I've seen a few of them say it, the skill level. Think about how much the skill level would drop if you've got to all of a sudden bring in another 30 people through the AFL system. You've already got one team that's barely winning a game, and that's North Melbourne. And then you got other teams that are playing pretty bad. The skill drop off would just be huge. Do you think? What would you prefer? Another team be introduced in, say, Tasmania, or would you say a team being moved like North Melbourne to Tassie?
I think, you know how they have the development league, the VFL?
Yeah.
And they have the VFL 2s.
Yeah.
I reckon the VFL 2s should be more, I think it should be more publicized, pushed a bit more.
Yeah.
And I reckon that should, because in Australia, we have one league.
Yeah.
And then we have heaps of country leagues and everything. But they're not, most of them don't, you look at all the leagues, there'll be probably 1 in 1,000 players out of the league that will go through to the AFL. So I reckon for and I know it's only Australia versus Australia in the AFL. It's not a world thing
Yeah.
like cricket or soccer
Hmm.
or anything. But like, I reckon it should be. I don't know. I just reckon more footy the better. Like,
Yeah. I'm not saying that
Yeah.
they should do this, but divisions would be kind of cool.
What,
like North Melbourne on bottom of the ladder, they get demoted. Whoever wins the VFL premiership comes up. Or
you want like a relegation system?
yeah, that would be sick.
That'd be interesting.
Whether it's high quality or not, but
I don't know how that's going to work with cap space though.
Yeah, and that's the thing. If you have, say, Richmond's twos team or their VFL team win, and then you got two Richmond teams in the AFL, it's a flawed thought, but I think it's still quite interesting and quite, yeah. Well, I think it'd be funny to see, but it's never going to
It'd be
happen.
interesting.
It's never going to happen. But anyway, thanks for joining us. We'll talk about. You came for Premier League.
I mean, I'm not going to be watching any of it, so.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have to do a championship preview because we've got the Burnley kit.
Oh yeah, it's cool. Let's talk
we
about
go for
Stoke and how they
Burnley
lost
now.
3-0 to Accrington Stanley this morning. That's good as, isn't it?
Well, we're going to talk about Stoke and Burnley all season because that's our mystery code jersey. We're going for Burnley.
Are we getting a new one, or are we just going to keep the stick?
No,
with
so we're
Burnley?
going to get one for World Cup. So
Yeah, right. Makes sense.
I'll get an international team and just ask for the team to be in the team that's in the World Cup, and whoever we get, we're going for Australia. Obviously, we're going for them, and whoever we get, as long as it's not
Costa Rica.
France. As long as it's not
Or
France.
Costa Rica,
Why do you hate Costa Rica?
because they knocked out New Zealand.
Oh yeah, that's okay, that's fair.
Not having that.
All right, thanks for joining us,
Yeah, too easy.
and we will see you next week. Bye.